Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Here we go! Say yeah! Woohoo! Oh, that's a great line. That is a great line.
Almost fucking killed me! You're welcome!
Hey guys, what is up? I've been wanting to make this video for a little while. I've kind of hold off on talking about everything that's really been happening with the Superman, James Gunn Superman photos going around. And, I was waiting till we got, a more clear look at, Nathan Fillion, Isabel Merced's Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl, so to talk about it. And that was revealed today. Not revealed, but we know what they look like now. So I kind of want to go through the photos and give you my thoughts and kind of talk about really everything that people are saying, and personally my thoughts as well. So let's start going through these photos. This is just be no other topics today. We're just be going through these Superman photos right now. And, the first one, of course, I want to start with is this Superman and Mr. Terrific character photos, that people found was from a set that they took a few weeks ago. In my personal opinion, I really like the suit. I really like Superman's suit. I feel like, that the one thing I don't like about the suit is that you can kind of see it scrunch up with his muscles, It doesn't really look like it really fits David Cornsweet, doesn't really show like he's a really physique in the suit, which that kind of and I know David Cornsweet worked really, really hard to get into the right shape for this role. And by definition, I look at his face, that's Clark Kent. That is Clark Kent. I look at him that's Superman. When I read the comics, that he looks exactly like that. Now I think the thing that stood out to me the most was not the Superman suit, but was Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific was a character I was introduced, probably like most of you, in the Justice League Unlimited show, where he kind of became, the new John Jones, in the Watchtower. And he's one of the smartest people alive, He's intelligent, he's smart, and, I look at this suit, and that's exactly, I don't see anything else. I will not change a single thing about Mr. Terrific's suit. He looks great. And I think, they got a really good actor to play him, I love this actor's work. I'm trying to remember his name. I know he's, been in, Eddie Kafiki. I think he's a really, really talented actor. He's been in a bunch of other things as well. But this is his big first role, and I think he looks exactly how Mr. Terrific would look in my eyes. And now let's go look on to some of these. Another photo that I want to talk about. This is a photo of Superman and Lois Lane. Lois Lane played by Rachel Brosnahan. That's Lois Lane. I think of Lois Lane from the comics. That's exactly what Lois Lane looks like. She's got that iconic, Lois Lane purple shirt, with the black pants. That's Lois Lane. I think Rachel Brosnahan is probably one of the best cast persons to play this character, because you look at her as the Marvelous Miss Maisel, she can bring some of that to Lois Lane, because Lois Lane is someone who doesn't back down from a fight. I think it's just a set image, but I think that's just Lois Lane right there. And that Superman and her sitting next to each other tells me okay, I can see these two falling in love with each other, being the perfect couple with each other. And there's also, and let's move on to this next photo. The next photo is this one right here. And it's a photo with Superman, being detained, kind of calling back to that iconic Zack Snyder moment, where we see Superman in handcuffs. And, you can see in this picture, we have, of course, you have the engineer in this photo. We've kind of talked about that before. The engineer is going to be that's in there to kind of connect to that other movie James Gunn's doing. What was it? The Authority. Yeah, that's the character that's mostly in the Authority comics, and I think that's going to be a reason to connect there. But the most interesting thing, there's really two other interesting things. First off, we have Frank Grillo in there, which we know he will be playing Rick Flag Sr. in Creature Commandos, which comes out at the end of this year, and also he is going to be in Peacemaker Season 2 as well. and it looks like he's going to be here in Superman Legacy as well. And that means that Frank Grillo's is Frank Grillo going to be like the Nick Fury of this universe, like kind of like the connected dot. Argus is kind of going to be like that Shield type thing. I think that's what James was going to try to do. Make Argus kind of be out to kind of be like Shield, because I think Zack Snyder tried to make Argus to be like that. With Suicide Squad. But Argus was never really played that Shield role. They were just kind of only in the Suicide Squad movies. So I think James Gunn wants to be okay, we have this agency called Argus that's going to connect all these heroes together. And and also the last thing, they have this other character who's looking like Black Noir from The Boys, but that does not like Black Noir. And I have theories that who it might be. At first, I thought, this could be maybe Doomsday, because Doomsday has supported kind of almost a look like that before, but I think this person is way too, not CGI big to be that character, but I think it's possible that this could either be Bizarro. I think this could very much be Bizarro, because it looks like, we don't know who it is, covered behind the mask. Maybe it's a clone of Superman that the government has made, and, that's going to be the big villain of the movie. Which would be really cool to see Bizarro finally brought into the movie space. A villain who has not been done in the movies, has been done in the TV shows, but not the movies. And it's really interesting to see these photos, and you kind of get a sense of how James Gunn is trying to connect this Superman movie to over the rest of his DCU and what that might mean. And looking at the costumes and everything, kind of says to me this is going to be more not a dark universe like Zack Snyder's Superman, but it's going to be a lighter universe, Still going to have those big concepts, we're going to talk about with Superman, but also, it's not going to be super dark where, it's going to be it's going to be filmed like a James Gunn movie. And, I think James Gunn's going to give an interesting take to Superman, and I'm excited to see, him not just having the big main characters in here, like Amanda Waller, we haven't even seen Lex Luthor yet, but we're seeing these other villains who are going to be connected to his universe. And finally, the last picture I want to talk about. The last picture. Today, officially today, we got our first looks at Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner. And, at first I was feeling the costumes, but I don't know. For me, when I look at Guy Gardner, because I'm a Green Lantern fan, guys. I love Green Lantern. I've read a lot of the Green Lantern comics. I really love that character. And, I do think the bowl cut, of course, looks as bad as I think it's going to look, because that bowl cut it's really hard to pull off a bowl cut. And, Nathan is doing a pretty good job with the ginger bowl cut. But the suit I'm seeing a Guy Gardner. I was a bit disappointed by it, honestly. I was really hoping we'd get, the Guy Gardner with the green, sleeveless, kind of the sleeveless jacket Guy Gardner we see in the comics, and you're just seeing he's wearing a shirt and then there's a jacket. It's a little bit CW-ish in my opinion, I'm gonna be a bit harsh right here, it is a bit CW-ish, but this is not saying the movie's gonna be bad. It's just I'm not a huge fan of the Guy Gardner costume, and same with the Hawkgirl costume, Hawkgirl is, I don't know what iteration they're doing. I don't know if they're doing it's a descendant who descends for the years, kind of what the CW did, or are they going to go the alien Thanagarian route, which is a route I've been wanting, DC, I really want James Gunn to do, because that, I really like how she's an alien from another planet who can also reincarnate, but I look at this Hawkgirl costume and it sends no message to me at all that Hawkgirl is from another planet, and same with Guy Gardner, these, maybe they're going to do something with the VFX in the movie, but for Hawkgirl, it almost looks like they're running the exact same thing. They almost are wearing the same exact thing, just in different colors, and a lot of people saw this image and going to say, saying, that these costumes, might be designed by Lord Tech or Luthor Corp, and kind of they're heroes employed by Lex Luthor, which could be a possibility, which would kind of be a weird route to go, because why would these heroes work for Lex Luthor? And then, there's also in the image, not a lot of people talk about this, there is an image of a guy in a blue, CGI suit, and, I think that's Metamorpho, because we know Metamorpho is going to be in this film. Metamorpho is played by Anthony Kerrigan. If you don't know who that is, you could look at his work. His most prominent thing he's been in is Barry, which is a very, very good show. He won an Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor in that series, and he's a great actor, great actor. And, I think that could be Metamorpho, because he's more of a CGI creature, He's a CGI character, Metamorpho has the power to kind of replicate elements, he can form his body, into like different objects, through the different elements he enhances, But overall, these set photos are looking very, very interesting, in my opinion. They all look very, very interesting. And, this is not telling us, in a way, what the movie's going to be about. And I think that's been the real topic that people talk about. It's like, oh, we see these set photos of them in their costumes. Oh, the movie's going to be terrible. I'm like, okay. The costumes, like, sure, they're important to a superhero movie. But in my opinion, what is really going to make or break this movie is the story James Gunn's going to tell. And, I trust in James Gunn. But you got to remember, guys, James Gunn made probably the best trilogy at Marvel, in my opinion. Aside from, like, the Captain America and Avengers, he brought us Guardians of the Galaxy and told a story where now those characters are center stage. And now you bring him the Superman, and, I feel like he has a very much reason why he wants to do this Superman movie and why he has these characters in Superman. Characters like Guy Gardner, like Metamorpho, like Lex Luthor, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, the Engineer, Rick Flag Sr. All these characters are going to be a reason. And, maybe, these characters are going to be teachers to Superman. You have Mr. Terrific. At first I thought, you're going to have Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl in there because maybe they're in the Justice Society. They are, already, the Justice Society was already much more established in the comics, before the Justice League came to be. Maybe they are the next generation of the Justice Society because, Guy Gardner could be taking over for Alan Scott. You have Hawkgirl, who she could be taking over for. And Hawkgirl's actually been in the Justice Society before. And maybe Mr. Terrific is the leader of the Justice Society. But, and of course, I'm still going to get a little, like, worried because I see a lot of Black Adam vibes in here as well, with having a movie about Superman, but also having these other heroes in here. So you're just a little bit intrigued to go see the film. But until I see a trailer for this movie and know what the story is, I'm not going to totally be down. Of course, I think the costumes are a bit CW-ish in a way, not that that's a bad thing. CW has made really, really great costumes, like, that Superman suit and Superman Lois. The first few seasons of the Flash suit were really good. But, I do, they don't look otherworldly to me. The suits do not look like they're, like a Green Lantern would wear it, or a Thanagarian warrior would wear it, That's just, like, my main thing. It's like, okay, like, these suits just look like, some person painted a Green Lantern symbol and a white jacket. And of course, I do think the color scheme for Guy Gardner is a bit interesting because, he very much like the color scheme looks like the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern that we saw, I believe it was like late 90s, early 2000s when he was in the Justice League. I have a Funko Pop actually of it over there. But it very much looks like that, and like Guy Gardner's never worn white with the Green Lanterns, and maybe this is giving us also a look to what Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart's costumes are going to look like because most Green Lantern suits have the same color scheme because they are part of one core. Just some of them look different because they customize them in different ways. But overall, there are some downsides, but I think we need to look at the positives that. We're getting a Superman movie, guys. A Superman movie is coming from a director who I very much has a very good track record. And, he's trying to... Another word for me. I don't want him to do too much. There's a lot of characters in this movie, and I'm like, okay, you gotta still make this a Superman movie. This has to be about Superman. It can't be, we can't have stuff going on with these other characters. Like, this has to be about Superman. And like, why... you want to tell a certain story of him. Like, why do you want to tell a story of him with Bizarro? Why is the Engineer in here? Why is, Guy Gardner, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific in this film? What are the reasons they're there? But overall, I'm iffy on the costumes, but I don't think it's a make or break for me. I'm still gotta see a trailer, and if the trailer, if it's not great, I don't. The trailer, I think, has to be great. It doesn't have to be good. It can't be good. It can't be okay. It's got to be great because this is your first movie, James. First movie in your new universe. You got to hit it with a splash because we got to wash some of the sourness from the old DC out and bring in this new DC. But what do you guys think about these set photos from Superman Legacy? Please leave your comments down below. Please like this video. And please subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.